In this episode, we're going to celebrate the Minnesota team. Great things going on in the wonderful state of Minnesota. So this summer, we had some national conferences take place, and so I'm thinking of the Retail National Conference. There's around 1,000 attendees, and so the first big highlight is Amber getting on stage, winning the Recruiter of the Year. Now, why did Amber win Recruiter of the Year? Well, first of all, she's bringing in great talent. Okay, she's recruiting. She's a magnet for great talent in Minnesota. And 2 offices were promoted in the last 12 months. So great job, Amber. Your hard work has been recognized. You did a great job. So thank you for all your hard work. And Gareth Roberts was recognized for promoting Owner of the Year. It was a lot of fun sneaking Gareth's parents into the conference without him knowing. They're backstage, they're wearing their fancy outfits, and they were so proud of their boy getting on stage. 2 decades of hard work for Gareth, and he's recognized for running a flagship office in Minneapolis and for passing along the opportunity. So congratulations to Gareth, congratulations to Amber, and congratulations to everybody putting in the hard work in the state of Minnesota.
I'm Amber. Nice to meet everyone. But this has definitely been a goal of mine since my first Keys to Success conference in 2022. That was my first time being a recruiter, and when I wasn't on stage and I wasn't winning awards, I looked at my promoting owner, Gareth Roberts, and I was like, I'm going to be on stage. That's going to be me. So it is kind of like manifestation, but it is well-deserved, and because of a lot of people in my life, they're the reason I'm up here today. So of course, I do want to thank the people that got me up here. First would be Jamie Hepp, because I did have the opportunity to get to work with him for the first year when I relocated to Minnesota, from Arizona to Minnesota with Gareth in 2020. And because of Jamie Hepp, you're the reason my paradigm changed. You know, because of how you would say the quote, make today your masterpiece. In my time of life, I wasn't really making my masterpiece day to day. So because of that quote you would say often, and it repeats in my mind every single day, is you do have to make today your masterpiece because you're in charge of what happens to you. So Jamie, thank you for always believing in me and being a big support and a wonderful role model in my life. So thank you so much. Next would definitely be my Rhino family. You know, I would not be up here today if it was not for each and every one of you. So I cannot thank all of you guys enough. So first, Urbe and Badu for actually getting promoted and getting the job done. Like, thank you guys. But thanks so much for each of my team members, my family. You guys are more than just my coworkers, you're my friends. And because of the culture we create within Rhino, that's why my job is so rewarding, and you guys are the reason I do what I do. So I love all of you guys. I can't wait to watch Rhino grow and be successful. But next would be Gareth and Heather Roberts. They're a big reason that I'm here today. Without their love and support and generosity and understanding, I would not be in this role today. So you guys have become a really big part of my life and a really big impact on me. So I cannot thank you guys enough as I am growing every day and still learning this new role. I thank you guys again for being patient, understanding, and being a part of the journey, but most importantly, trusting me to grow your office to the next level. I'm a part of this ride with you guys, and I cannot wait to see what we can accomplish together, but I love you all. So because of these amazing examples and these amazing people I have in my life, they are the reasons I'm up here today, but I learned something really important. If you remember what I said about Jamie, he would say, make today your masterpiece, and that changed my paradigm. So if it wasn't for working with Jamie, if it wasn't for going through all the trials and tribulations, I would not be up here today. So I just want you guys to know, if you actually switch your mindset from I want this to I'm actually going to achieve it, your whole work ethic is going to change. You're going to discover so much more potential in yourself that you didn't know that you had. So if you guys just make today your masterpiece, you're the only one that is going to be in control of what happens to you, and you decide what comes after.
I had the privilege of working with this guy in Minnesota during the pandemic. And we struggled to put Humpty Dumpty back on the wall. There were many times, there was Gareth, there was Amber, Urbe, and me, and I'm like, where's everybody else? Like, Jamie, this is everybody. Well, let's run it back, let's do it again. But it was slow. And I observed that Gareth was being hard on himself, too hard. I've been in the business for a long time. I'm not as far ahead as I should be. It was unhealthy. And I asked Gareth to really focus on two things that I believe to be true. First, gratitude and envy cannot coexist in the same heart. You have to choose. It's going to be one or the other. I mean, take a look around you. People with envy lack a lot of gratitude, and people with a lot of gratitude, they're not envious. You live an amazing life. Be thankful. Don't be so anxious. And the second truth, I believe, is charisma opens doors. Your character keeps you in the door. Lots of shooting stars come and go, and when the going gets tough, a lot of people bow out, but people with character last, and you should be proud about that. And I was blown away with Garrett's character. I think everybody was blown away with Garrett's character. He's an awesome husband to Heather. He's a terrific father to Kaylin and Liam. He's a great son to Dave and Sheila. He's an amazing example and leader for his people. He took the necessary steps, even though it seemed real slow during COVID. He was a role model in the field. He recruited studs, focused on studs, and he focused on developing his talent. The results, well, thus far in 2023, he's promoted 2 owners, and he runs a powerhouse office in Minnesota. Please welcome to the stage your 2023 Promoting Owner of the Year, Gareth Roberts.
All right, so first off, I want to congratulate Casey, Preston, and Corey, fellow nominees. I don't think I won. I think I maybe just got here a little sooner. But you guys are doing it right. You guys did the work, and you're passing on the opportunity that was passed on to you, and it's probably the greatest feeling in the world when you get to have this feeling. I'll tell you what, it definitely does. Damien and the events team, this is unbelievable. I don't know how you guys outdo each other every single time. It's unbelievable. Let's clap it up for them. That's pretty impressive. Andy Bruinger, congratulations. I'm not sure where you are right now. I can't see anything. But my Florida State brethren, I'm pretty sure I served him drinks at some point in college. And my guess is he had a lot of them. Adam Dorfman, 20 years. A lot of people don't know, but I started, my first days in the field were in his office in Atlanta. I appreciate your example, and you show me what it's supposed to look like. You were just a larger version of yourself right now. Tarek, I hate you for all the same reasons I don't like Alabama and the Yankees and the Lakers, because you're awesome all the time. And you've built a family, and I'm the opposite of Andy. I'm an emotional dude. I was tearing up when you were talking about your team and your groomsmen, and so inspiring. And I'm super happy for you. That's for sure. The consultants that are up here, they led us through one of the most challenging times, and people like me, I was scared. Pandemic happened. I didn't know what was going to happen, and the group up here in the front, they led us through some really challenging times. So I'd appreciate it just to make me feel less nervous if you could get on your feet and give them a massive round of applause. Jamie Hepp, there's a saying that says, success changes people. And I don't agree with that. I say success enhances people. And when I met Jamie 15 years ago, he was a good man. And he's become a great man. And I appreciate your example. Hang on. One is a businessman, two is a friend, but most importantly, you are the best example when it comes to being a husband and a father. So I appreciate your example. My man Ken Lear, if you're in his organization, you're in the right freaking spot. When I think of Ken Lear, I think of the quote, "You can't compete with me because I want you to win too." When I'm kicking ass, he's calling me to congratulate me. And when I'm not doing well, he's coaching me up with the same enthusiasm. And he's built something in the EDM program that I don't think's been rivaled, and I've been in the business a long time. So please give it up for Ken Lear. Mike Ferdinand, you run the EDM program. You've become family to me. I appreciate your patience. I'm an old B2B guy. Wasn't a retail guy. I was bitching about a lot of stuff. But your support, your friendship, you're an amazing human, and I appreciate you every day. So this business has got a lot of support, and there's a few owners that I want to recognize. And Ben Gowan, Shalon Parham, Lucas School, and Stephen Garcia. You four came to my aid when I needed it the most. And if you guys ever need anything, you call me, I'm there. It means the world to me. Amber Manuz, you guys saw that human firecracker? I just saw you. It made me nervous a little bit. She said last year we were in the far back and we were pissed. And she said to me, she turned and she said, "We're going to win it all next year." You make me better. To my kids, Kaylin and Liam, I appreciate the fact that you make me want to be the example that you can look up to. And I'm not going to talk too much because I'll start to cry. Heather, you are my everything. Today is for you and every day after that. I love you. All right, so some owners. So Badu Kane, me and Badu have been friends for 15 years, and it's great having him as a partner now. He's a 6'6" former African presidential candidate. When he walks around, he tends to make you stand a little bit straighter. Knowing him and having him around, he truly has made me a better man. Grant Dean, if you haven't heard the name, you will. He's another big reason why I'm up here. You know, he's grown his organization by 200% in the last 6 months. Bo Kroondijk, he's been with me a long time. He's the most loyal friend. Calls me when he's thinking about nothing, just to call me. And And I think I appreciate that and I don't know why, I just do. Our newest owners, Jasmine English and Jacob Gafford, both animals. I said a quote earlier in a breakout. I said, quick success builds arrogance. Long success builds character and perspective. And they have put in their time, both of them, longer than most, and they have freaking earned it. So I want you guys to give it up for them. Everybody, yesel? My hairy Turkish brother. Like Andy, he also does not drive. And it's not because he can't afford a car. Those of you who know on the EDM program, he makes about $2,500 a week. He just can't pass the driver's test. He has failed it 4 times. And the last time he says to me, he's like, I almost passed. I just went left when I was supposed to go right. And I was like, so you went on oncoming traffic? He's like, small thing. I'm like, no, you should never drive ever. If you ever need an Uber coupon, call that guy, because he's like a super platinum whatever. He's amazing. Everybody was the first person I hired when I moved to Minnesota, and he really set the tone for what I was to expect when I got there. He's the hardest working human I know, and I know a shit ton of people. And my guys. You know, I thought I was tough. I am not tough. You know, you should all come to visit. You guys should all come to Minnesota. Just don't come right now. It's nice now. Come in January. Come, John was saying, Leo is dealing with minus 25, and I saw 5 of my guys like, minus 25? Minus 40? I have a handful of my guys will call me, not to call in sick, but to selfie them digging their car out of 20 feet of snow in shorts. You guys are why I do this. My why is I've worked in corporate America. I know what I don't want. I get to work with the people I want to work with, not the people I have to work with. So as I was thinking about what I wanted to tell you guys, like Vera said, when you go last, people take a lot of the stuff you're going to say. And that is a true statement. So I just crossed it all out. So I talked to my most trusted advisor, my 5-year-old daughter, Kaylin. And I said, what should I talk about? She said, talk about frogs, Dad. So she said, talk about frogs, Daddy. So I'm going to talk about frogs. I think my superpower is I'm good at telling stories to my kids. So I'm going to tell you guys a story. And if it hits home with you, I'd like you to stand up and go bonkers by the end. Can you guys do that for me? So there's 2 frogs hopping through the forest on their way to their pond. If I can describe this pond to you, it's in Minnesota. There's lily pads all over the place, but in the middle of it is a big lily pad. These 2 frogs are like hopping along on their way. They're like, we're going to take over the big lily pad. It's going to be amazing. We can fit our whole family on the big lily pad. The lady frogs are going to love the fact that we got the big lily pad. It's going to be amazing. Now that these 2 frogs are starting to get excited about this goal of taking over the big lily pad. The ground beneath them falls through and they fall down into a hole. And they fall down what seems to be forever. And they finally get to the bottom and they assess their situation and they're brushing themselves off. And they start to assess the situation and they realize they're in some trouble. They look up and it's a lot deeper than they thought they were. And so they start jumping. They start jumping a little bit harder. They're just not quite getting out of there. And they start making noises and putting more effort into it. And it starts to cause a commotion. And some other frogs start coming to the top of this hole as they see these two frogs trying to get out. And they're working so hard. And one frog from the top says, "I'm so sorry this happened to you. I'm so sorry this happened to you, but stop trying. It's too hard. It's impossible. You're going to die down there." Now these two frogs are like, "We got this." And they keep jumping. And a few minutes later, another frog says, "What are you trying so hard? It's impossible. You can't get out of there. You're going to die down there." And this happens over and over and over again, and eventually one of the frogs starts to hear them a little bit louder. He starts assessing the situation. Starts looking around, and he says, "You're right. I can't do it. It is impossible." And so his leaps became jumps, became hops, and eventually he just sat there. And slowly he slid deeper into the hole, and he did. He died down there. Now, it turns out this other frog is apparently an idiot because he's not paying any attention. He's jumping like a crazy person. He's jumping up crazy. He sees everybody, and they're all up above him going, "What are you doing? It's impossible. You can't do it. No way." And he just keeps jumping, and he just sees them, and he's got a big smile on his face, and he just gets the right footing, and he gets out. And he's face to face with these other frogs, and they're like, "Didn't you hear us tell you it's impossible? You can't do it. It's impossible. There's no way you were going to get out of that hole." And he looks at him and he says, I can't hear you. It turns out this frog was deaf. But now he can read their mind. He can read their lips. And he says, "This whole time I thought you were cheering me on." You see, he couldn't hear them saying it's impossible. He couldn't hear them saying, "You can't do it. It's too hard." He couldn't hear them saying, "Stop trying." He just kept saying, I can't hear you. He couldn't hear him say, "You can't make a lot of money." I can't hear you. Can't build a team. I can't hear you. Can't build an organization. I can't hear you. You can't make $1 million. Watch me.